We want to go over to St. Bernard, where they're holding a news conference right now. Let's take a live listen in.
Thank you, Councilman Lewis. You know, the eastern part of our parish has been devastated outside of our levee system. The representative from that area does a great job, has been engaged from the beginning, and she is not arguing with the sheriff about getting down to Delacroix and Hopedale. So I would like to bring up at this time Council Member at Large, Eastern District, Kerry Kelly.
Thank you, Guy. Yeah, I just want to kind of reiterate what Sheriff Pullman said. Really, the biggest issue we have seen in this storm is the effects that we have and are still having outside of our levee system. You know, we fared well. Our levee system held up. You know, it was the first or the biggest test, I believe, we've had on this levee system, and we are so happy in the results of how that went, and it did its job in the levee department. Started doing assessments down there. As soon as we can get that information to you about the extent of the damage, we certainly will. You know, from what he has seen with his crew down there, you know, the water is still on the roads, you know, and completely impassable once you get past the levee. So that levee wall is going to close, and we're going to keep people from traveling down there. And just please caution everybody, if you're coming down here to check on your boats, check on your camps, please just wait. Please give us some time, let the water go down, let us make sure it's safe, and as soon as that is possible, we will let y'all know. I just want to thank all of our commercial fishermen and all of our residents that live and work and play outside of the levee system for their support and their help during this whole thing. They know what to do. They got, you know, as much of their assets out as possible. And, you know, as far as we've seen, most of them, you know, came in for the event, and, you know, it went as smoothly as possible. So we just need that water to go down, and we can get out there and get back to work on putting our community out there back together. And you know, we know how to do it. We've been through it many a times, and as soon as that's possible, we'll be out there to be able to do that again. So thank you to the sheriff. Thank you for, you know, President McGinnis and the council and the administration for, you know, working with us and doing everything we can to make that possible. So God bless y'all, and I hope to see y'all back here soon and us rebuilding and putting everything back together outside of the wall as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. You know, the first thing we think about and the last thing we think about during these storms and the aftermath is power. And here to represent Entergy, which is probably the largest task that we have going region-wise and St. Bernard Parish-wise, is getting our power turned back on. Here to represent Entergy today is Joni Bethel and Curtis Navis. What are you talking today, boy? I'll tell you about it.
Hello. First of all, let me thank each and every one of our services, President Ms. McGinnis, the sheriff, the fire department, and everybody in between. It was a long day and a long night. Things just seemed like they wouldn't go away. As bad as it might seem, no lights, no electricity, tree limbs all over the place. At the end of the day, we're in a good place. Most of us been through worse, so be grateful for what you have. You know, please say prayers for our neighbors just across the river and down the bayou, because they don't have the same situation. We've been doing assessments. We've been working our plans since last night. We've been assessing the damage. There is some damage out in the community. Our guys are addressing it as we speak. We will have more resources rolling in. Please be vigilant with, you know, the work that's going on. Please stay out of their way. We do have COVID restrictions at this point, so the more people who come up and ask when the lights are coming on, the longer it's actually going to take. When these guys come in, they know what they're doing. We're probably the best at what we do. That's what we train for. We're trained professionals. So they're going to come in. We're going to put everything back together. You hear a lot of horror stories on Facebook, social media about what's true, what's not. Just recently, somebody addressed a post from last year from Zeta that said we wouldn't get power back until November. So yeah, there is a lot of challenges out there on the distribution side and the transmission side. Everybody's working to do the best they can. We don't want to have our community without power. You know, I personally don't have power. Most of my guys don't have power. So, you know, they work 16 hours a day. They go home, they sleep in a dark, non-air conditioned house, and they come back once again tomorrow morning to complete the task that we've been handed. We will do that, we'll do it safely. You know, just think about what you're doing around your house, because, you know, my guys have to take the time to perform a task, but if they don't get to come back the next day, they can't help anymore. So they will do it safely, we'll do it efficiently, and we'll get through this before, you know, hopefully the next event comes, but we don't know how that turns out every day. So thank you.
He did so well. I really don't have much to add, though, just to let y'all know that while the assessments are being done and while they're working on the transmission, we are making repairs to distribution. Everything's being done simultaneously, and while we have no estimated times to share with you, we will have them as soon as the assessments are complete and everybody has a chance to develop the plan and provide those information. Okay? Thank y'all.
Thank you. We were expecting y'all to tell us it was going to be turned on next week. I was joking, Curtis. I was joking.
My goal is today.
I know that. I know that. You know, going through this and working with Entergy to try to get our power on, remember, we have, I think it's 8 parishes, maybe 9, that are totally without power. Don't know if that was the first time that this ever happened, but there's a lot of coordination that needs to happen with that. Senator Bowie has been calling us off and on for the last 3 days. Senator Hewitt, already before the storm came in, working on getting St. Bernard Parish power turned back on. So, you know, what we're trying to tell through our representatives to the governor, to the leadership at Entergy, is that we believe we're low-hanging fruit here in St. Bernard Parish. It's easy. Our system is fairly easy to put back together, and we were blessed. So the sooner they get us up and running, the sooner we can help some of these other parishes in Southeast Louisiana get going. So we're asking them to get us up and going so we can help others. And at this time, I want to recognize our state representative, Ray Garafello.
Thanks, President McGinnis. I've been speaking to my colleagues from around the state pretty much all day when I wasn't touring the parish, and it seems like we were truly blessed. There's no question. We had, I believe, the 3rd test of our wall. Was this the 3rd test? We had Isaac, last year we had Zeta, and this year we had Ida. And we had no flooding, and there was a possibility with all the rain bands that were coming in that we could have had some rain flooding, but that wall stops the storm surge. So I want everybody to know that we are blessed in St. Bernard Parish to have that, and that if you're considering St. Bernard, you want to come down here, and this is the prime example, where it could have been a lot worse depending on how the hurricane came in, but because we're protected by that blessing, that wall out there, we had virtually no flooding. So please keep that in mind when you're looking for a good place to live. But before I go, I want to thank, I don't want to take a lot of time, but I want to thank everyone behind me. I want to thank all the parish employees, all of our deputies, all of our firefighters. All night long, I could hear them on the radio. They were talking, they were out monitoring, they were watching people, they were watching our businesses, and that's exactly what a community needs. You need to feel safe when you go to sleep at night, even when there's a hurricane in the Gulf. And I felt very, very, very safe, even though I didn't go to sleep. So thank you guys very much, and please keep up the good work. And of course, our friends at Entergy, I know you guys were out too, and I appreciate what you guys did for us, and I know you're going to get the power back on soon. Thank you, God bless.
Thank you, Representative. All right, so we're going to summarize it up. I hope I don't double up on anything here. You know, when you're out and about, thank an employee of St. Bernard Parish government and thank a lineman without interrupting their work, right? So, you know, these guys are going to work for the next days and maybe weeks to get us back up and going. Your employees and linemen are going to be out there working hard, so please show your appreciation to them. A lot of people went over a lot of these things. Our main thoroughfares are basically open, especially after the end of today, but you still need to be careful. Our sewer lift stations will be manned, if you will, with vacuum trucks. They will be coming in today and tomorrow. And once we make one circle on all of our lift stations, we will be up to date. And if there are any problems, please call 278-4200. Our residents' safety is our #1 concern, and that's what Councilman Lewis, Sheriff Pullman was talking about earlier today, that we still need to be careful if we're in and about St. Bernard Parish. We have extremely limited services here in St. Bernard at this time, food and restaurants. We have maybe 3 or 4 with a few coming back on, and fuel is limited at this time. So we're hoping to get that up and going a little more as we go down the road here. If you know some elderly residents, or if there's family members that you know of, please go check on them. Right now is the time to check on them. It's hot, they don't have power, and they may be in need of assistance. And if there's something we can do to help in that situation, please call, again, 504-278-4200. There are no shelters open in St. Bernard Parish at this time. We have had no requests. That means our citizens heeded the advice of our leaders. And, you know, you guys did a great job by evacuating, by getting with family, and getting to a place where you were safe. So we appreciate that. As of now, garbage collection will resume Thursday. Any update on that, Ronnie? Okay. All right. So Thursday, we will resume garbage collection. All non-essential government offices will be closed until further notice. Public schools are closed until further notice, and Nunez Community College is closed through Wednesday. Please visit NCC Nunez Community College social media for additional information. Again, our contact information is 278-4200 for emergencies. It's 504-271-1681, and we ask you guys to keep up with our social media and up to date on everything that's going on.
St. Bernard Christian Academy is closed through Wednesday as well.
And St. Bernard Christian Academy is closed through Wednesday as well. You know, Sheriff Pullman touched on it a little bit. You know, our friends to the west are going through some traumatic times right now. If you know someone, reach out, try to help them. And I know that that's what the sheriff's doing with his buddies, and I've talked to the leaders of those parishes, and I could tell you Southeast Louisiana is going to come back stronger and better. We all need to do this together. So God bless each and every one of you, and let's stay, hold on. Our courthouse in St. Bernard Parish will be closed until next Tuesday. Again, God bless each and every one of you, and stay safe.
All right, President Guy McInnes in St. Bernard Parish making it sound like they're in a much better position after Ida than many of the metro area parishes.